What is up, everybody? Renfail here. Hopefully you are doing well. Today we're going to be diving into the character creation for the Outer Worlds 2 and walking you through some of the information that you're going to want to know about the game before you just dive in, so that you can get the most out of your character and understand exactly how the leveling process works, how the progression system works, and so on and so forth. Don't forget, if you haven't already done so, to check the playlist below. I've got a lot of other guides around the Outer Worlds 2, plus the playlist and the live stream, so check all those out at your leisure. I play a lot of games. This is the day job, so don't forget to check out all the other stuff I do, and we do stream every single day on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick at around 4:30 a.m. every single morning, and then in the afternoon as well. So without further ado, your standard stuff right off the bat, you've got your body, face, hair, and cosmetic stuff. So for those of you who want to spend a couple of hours like I do, making your character super unique, you can. Not only do you have your traditional male and female options here, and also your presets that you can go through, but there's also prosthetics, which I thought this was really cool to have prosthetics in the game, because you can't quite make a cyborg character, but you can, especially once you get armor and stuff, you can make a character that looks kind of similar to a cyborg, especially as you get like helmets and stuff, because you could have we could go like the RoboCop build essentially. So there's a lot of options here to choose from as you go through, and of course you could then go into your face, hair, and cosmetics. But the big fun stuff for this is going to come from the backgrounds, traits, and skills, and that's really where I want to spend the bulk of my time here today. So let's get right into it. So from here, we can go into backgrounds. Now, the most important thing to understand about backgrounds in the Outer Worlds 2 is that these are somewhat flavor related, in the sense that they are roleplay specific dialogue options that show up in the game based on one of these 6 different backgrounds that you have chosen. But they also often come with their own resolution to a situation. So if you've ever played a different role-playing game where your backgrounds are just flavor text and only flavor text, they are a little bit more than that here. They are flavor text in some situations, but in other situations they are flavor text and more, because they can provide a resolution. So it's almost like you win the dice roll for that, by having that option in dialogue. So you have ex-convict, the gambler, lawbringer, professor, renegade, and roustabout. I have been running through as a renegade on my first character. And it's been great because he's very much an anti-establishment character, which from the character that I'm playing makes total role-playing sense. But you just get to pick whichever one you want to go through here. They're all great options. It is a great way to give yourself a little bit of information about who your character was before they joined the ranks of the Earth Directorate, because that's who your character is from the start of this game. You are an agent of the Earth Directorate, so this is who you were before that. Now, once you've done that, you're going to get into the traits. Now, this is where it's really interesting. So you get to choose one positive trait from this list as the default. You pick one, go from there. But if you choose 2, and you can choose 2, you are then required to choose a negative trait. Now, what it says here is, it even tells you on the right hand side, it says you do not need to select a negative trait unless you choose to select a second optional positive trait. So the ones you can choose from are brawny, brilliant, heroic, innovative, lucky, nimble, resilient, suave, witty. These are all going to impact your character in some way. For example, my character went with suave. This is another thing where it's flavor text that can show up in dialogue from time to time, but I also get a 10% at all vendors, and my bounty must be 2 times higher than normal to be seen as an outlaw. Witty means your reputation with any faction can never decrease below neutral, preventing any penalties that would otherwise be gained from having a negative rep. Resilient means your death is prevented for 3 seconds the first time you have died in any combat situation. Nimble means you're adroit, so you're quicker at running around in crouch and combat. Critical chance. So these all have really cool things. So you just pick one, and then from here you can immediately go to the next screen if you want, or you can pick a second, at which point you are then prompted to pick a negative trait, and the negative traits are abrasive, dumb, or sickly. I have seen some really fun stuff watching other people's videos from having the dumb trait as an example. Um, it locks 5 of your 12 available skills, and you can never add points to those. And so you could just be a really limited character. It's quite amusing. And from here, you can go ahead and select one and then go to the next one, which is where you get skills. Now I chose dumb. We're going to go ahead and unselect that. We're only going to choose the one as if we were normal, like so. And then we can move to the skills tree. Now this is a little bit different than the first game. This part is similar, but the leveling up progress, which we will do in a different video, we'll get into that. There are a lot more skills in this game than the first game. And they are all, well, I should say skills, excuse me. There are a lot more abilities called perks in this game. Quick commercial break, everyone, to celebrate and give thanks to all of these amazing people who keep me on the air full time. Really appreciate the support. All you got to do is join as a member. You get access to private videos. You can also do super thanks on any upload or super chats and stickers on any live stream or premiere you see. And beyond that, don't forget we're multi-streaming over on Twitch now, so you can support over there as well. Thanks so much to everybody. Let's get back to the video at hand. So the skills govern the perks. There's a lot of perks to choose from. And these skills are going to be what you level up every single time that you go through. And you get to choose a couple to go through. As it says here, skills determine your character's core abilities throughout the game. Specialized skills start at 2 and can be raised to max faster. So you got to pick a couple of here. They all do fun things. I went with lockpick and speech. You can kind of go with what you want. One caveat that I would say here, and this is just my experience in the game so far through the streams, is that hacking is definitely something that, and this is a consideration I think that is good to explain to new players. There is a difference between lockpicking and hacking. Lockpicking is going to get you through doors and into chests that have loot in them. And that's a great way to get lots of extra stuff. It'll also get you past, like, there's certain doors that you'll want to pick the lock of and stuff. However, hacking gets you into computers, it gets you into automatrons, it does something completely different. So it's good to understand the difference between hacking and lockpicking because they are not the same thing here. So if you're wanting to hack your way past doors, hack into robots, things of that nature, hacking is a good skill to have. Lockpicking is going to be something for certain doors as well as chests and stuff. So bear that in mind, because I know there can be some confusion sometimes with people who are like, but wait, I thought hacking was hacking into a door. It can be, but there's also doors that you can lockpick past. So they are two separate things. So pick a couple here, and then you'll go from this, and you will be able to go from there. Add your character's name, and then you can review everything here and go straight into the game with your character. Another thing to pay attention to is that if this is your very first time playing this game and you're creating this character, which I'm assuming you are for the very first time, once you do this, you're going to go into the tutorial mission, which takes a couple of hours, hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on how you play and your difficulty level. When you get done with that tutorial, you will have an additional option to change anything that you didn't like from your first initial run through. So don't feel like you're locked into this. You could definitely start with something, go through, play the first couple of hours of game, and then respec after that if you decide you don't want that, you want to do something different without having to make a complete new character from scratch. So hopefully that helps. And if it did, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update, follow along for more, and check the playlist below for more Outer Worlds 2 guides, playlists, and beyond. We'll see you in the next one. Stay safe, everybody. Happy gaming.